Hey, hi, hello everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. It's time for a tier list. A tier list in celebration of the platform that I am on right now, YouTube.net. Yes, that crazy, up-and-coming, brand new, fresh social media app that all the kids are on, where users, young and old, go every day to watch the best and brightest in the content creation world, be that Rames, Willie Johnston, or my personal favorite, Awesome Mealtime Today. And who can also forget the comedy on YouTube too, Smush? But today, we're talking about music, and no, I'm not talking about cool rap battles of all time. No, instead on this video, we are talking about the biggest and most viewed songs and music videos ever on the platform. And I'm going to be tier listing them out based on whether or not I like them or don't. It's as simple as that. Okay, transition. Here we have my handy dandy blank tier list. I'm going to go over these top 10 songs and rank them out. Before I do the ranking, I want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor for this video, the good people over at Bombas. Boom! Hey, it's me, your music dad, and I gotta be honest, I'm kind of worried about you. You've got to start wearing socks with your shoes. At first, it was no socks with dress shoes, and it was just kind of weird seeing that much of your ankle at your sister's wedding. But the other day, you slipped off your running shoes and the whole room smelled like salt and vinegar chips. You deserve better. We all do, which is why I think you should try Bombas. Bombas has a wide variety of breathable athletic socks with sweat-wicking yarns, so you have the freedom you want with no more blisters and no more stinky shoes. On top of all of that, Bombas is dedicated to donating one product for every product purchased, having donated over 150 million essential clothing items to those in need. So you can actually feel good as well about buying your cool new socks. So scan the QR code you see on your screen right here, or go to bombas.com/fantano and use the code Fantano20 for 20% off your first purchase. Again, that's bombas.com/Fantano with Fantano20 as the code. And thank you, Bombas, for sponsoring today's video. Okay, starting with the 10th most viewed song and music video on the YouTube platform, we have One Republic, Counting Stars, which dropped in 2013, and essentially this track is like some hopeful, generic coworker acoustic rock. It's the sort of thing that someone you knew from high school posts to Facebook as an example of like Monday motivation, something along those lines. And while in and of itself, I wouldn't say it's horrendous or unlistenable, there are definitely songs in this lane that are a lot more forcefully cheery or rank higher in the Christian youth group counselor songbook. Still, this track does serve as an archetype for a lot of that mess, and it's kind of best to avoid it at all costs if you can. I'm gonna put it, I don't know, C. I'm feeling generous at the start of this video. We're putting it in the C row. Okay, 9th most viewed music video and song on the YouTube platform. That is Shakira Waka Waka, This Time for Africa. One of the biggest global hits from one of the most internationally recognized artists. This track went #1 in numerous countries, which is not surprising, not only because it is very listenable, but it was also tied in as the official 2010 song for FIFA. However, like most anything else on this list, this track mostly just kind of is a watered down version of a better thing that is maximized for appeal across the widest number of people. The whole instrumental is a bland bastardization of South African music. I mean, in fact, the track has been criticized for not being sung by a South African, instead by a Colombian that most Westerners read as white. I mean, its makeup is not as weird or as problematic as maybe some things out there, but it still stands that the song sounds like a damn tourism commercial. I can't really put it on or hear it in the background somewhere without feeling like I'm being sold something, which is why I'm putting it over in the D row. We're giving it the D. Okay, next. Even more viewed than that one, apparently, is Maroon 5 with Sugar. Yeah, pretty much grating falsetto pop rock that makes my skin crawl the more I listen to it. And while the band has made worse music for sure, I think a better group would have laid more stank on this song, given it more personality, because as the track stands, it just kind of sounds like the best ideas and elements of an artist like Prince hollowed out and made toothless in such a way to where you could play this at a wedding and grandma won't get offended. In fact, like the music video is just like them playing this song at a bunch of weddings. And like, lo and behold, everyone's like, yeah, woo, Maroon 5's at my wedding. Which is honestly the worst thing that could potentially happen to your marriage, even more so than divorce. Which is why I'm putting it over in the E row for ew. Okay, at number 7 on the list, we have Elchumbo, Dancing Alien, Dame Tu Cosita, featuring Cuddy Ranks. And yeah, essentially what we have here is a goofy, repetitive-ass reggaeton track loaded with hokey, incessant vocal samples and like this overly macho rap verse. And honestly, it bangs. It's bass too. So I'm going to put this over in the B column. Okay, at number 6 on the list, we're getting even crazier. Oh yeah, getting crazier. See what I did there? Getting crazy. Yeah, Crazy Frog, Axel F, the 2009 classic, which this is some of the greatest music mankind has ever created. Do I even need to explain why? Like, this is the reason God invented dance pop so that we could have tracks like this. Not to mention Crazy Frog, I think, is the only artist on the planet to blow up globally in the way that he did, while essentially like sharing his peen openly with the world. Yes, this artist's career like literally kicked off with a dick pic. And I mean, you don't really need to look that far to see that this thing's thing is everywhere. Stunning and brave, as they say. This is going in the S tier for ding 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 ding. Okay, following this, we have the even more popular Uptown Funk with Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson at number 5. Very Casey Kasem of me to drop it in that way. Does anybody even know that reference at this point? Anyway, Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars teaming up on this track is one of the few instances where a commercial copycat of a more authentic thing is pretty good and suffices for the most part. Would I rather listen to any number of synth funk classics from Prince or Janet or Zapp or Rick James or the Gap Band over this song? Or The Time, yes. That is all far superior synth funk that you absolutely should be listening to. But still, it remains that Uptown Funk is a legit synth funk banger. In fact, we were lucky to have gotten one in the year of our Lord 2014. And I don't know what it is, but that Bruno Mars man, he just continues to be a human jukebox. And this is genuinely a song that to my ears, even when it comes on today, 10 years later, it still bangs. It still bangs. I'm going to put it in the B tier. It's pretty good. Okay, next in the YouTube tier list with over 5 billion views. So we have Psy with Gangnam Style. You know, before the current wave of fake industry planted and groomed K-pop groups had taken the charts by storm, we had real Korean pop and rap with Psy. Yeah, Psy is the artist that you listen to when you're like a real K-pop and rap purist. Nothing but the most authentic and organic and old school K-pop and rap suffices for you. Psy is who you go to, and he really blessed us with this anthem over a decade ago. It became a real anthem for lovable goofballs everywhere. This song is pure candy, pure sugar, pure unadulterated joy, which I will not allow you to take from me. However, I'm going to have to put this in the A row and not the S row because Psy should not have apologized for his critical comments on the Iraq War. Okay, next on the list, we have the third most viewed song and music video on the YouTube platform, Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. What else can I say? This song is like the bane of my existence. It is so gross. It is so annoying. It is so soulless. It is so weird. This track, to my ears, truly does feel representative of a society, of a culture that doesn't really know what sex and romance are, because few things turn me off in the way that this song does, truly and honestly. It's an F because nobody is gonna F to this. It's F all the way. Okay, here we have the number 2 song and music video on the YouTube platform, Wiz Khalifa, See You Again, featuring Charlie Puth, which is like, in so many ways, the worst like formula and combination and example that you could have of like an industry groomed and created song. This track just sounds like it was assembled in a factory, and the fact that it is tied in with a Fast and Furious film, number 7 to be specific, just increases that sensation even more so. Yeah, it's awful. It's gross. It's annoying. Charlie Puth's boyish vocals lack true and serious passion. Wiz Khalifa sounds like he's rapping for the check and even drops in a bar about, like, you know, family. And the way that the music video exploits the nostalgia and seriously, you know, sad feelings that people had around this time with the passing of Paul Walker, as much as, you know, obviously I'm sure he loved being involved with this film franchise, it just feels weird in retrospect. Because again, it's not like the song is being performed by people who knew him personally or something like that. It's like, again, we miss Paul. We need to write a song about missing somebody for the movie. It just reads like a Hallmark greeting card, which I know sounds very crass and dismissive to say, but again, I just hate the way that the entertainment industry monetizes stuff like this, which is why I'm feeling an F on it. Okay, here we have the #1 song and music video on the YouTube platform. Finally, Luis Fonsi, Despacito, the one and only. Yeah, there was a time where you really couldn't go anywhere without, like, hearing this song all over the place. And, you know, for the most part, my memories of that time were just kind of like fine. It wasn't bad. There were certainly worse songs that have been everywhere at certain points in pop music history. Plus, I mean, I gotta respect any song that brings Daddy Yankee or Big Daddy Yankee back into the fold, because Gasolina is a goddamn banger. Anyway, this track overall just kind of sounds like two dudes having fun. I think the vocal mixes and the instrumentation are kind of obnoxious and grating when you listen to them again and again, like a lot of pop music was around this time. But I still like the tune itself, and I think the song overall is a decent combination of reggaeton and Latin pop. I think my biggest gripe with it around the time would have been that this song is just so massive in comparison with the many other Latin pop and reggaeton artists who, you know, frankly, were more interesting around this time. But honestly, the Latin music landscape internationally has shifted so much since then and has matured and grown and features a much wider array of voices and expressions. So it's kind of hard to get frustrated with this song about that. I think in retrospect, this kind of seems like a way paving moment rather than it was something that kind of like overshadowed potentially better artists. Because the fact that we have, you know, records like the new Bad Bunny album, for example, out there today doing as well as they are, and sort of like having the personal and social commentary that those records do in the mix, I think is a great thing. But still, it remains like I'm not exactly going crazy when this song goes on. It's not my favorite reggaeton track by far. And for the most part, it's fine. I'm you know, I'm neutral on it, which is why I think I am just going to take this and put it over in the C, not the D for Despacito, but the C for cool. That track, I'm kind of cool with it. Okay, guys, that's it. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. That's my tier list. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up, or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, YouTube, music videos, forever.